I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, yeah, welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. Look how good. Oh, they look great, and they sound even better, don't they, guys? Oh, thank you to Jason MD and his children for today's intro.
I was going to say that reaction you had after the children's voices. What are you, this Epstein guy?
Oh, gee, yeah. I don't even want to read the details.
Is that his last name?
Yeah.
Epstein? Yeah.
Yeah. Juan Epstein.
Yeah, they took a fucking crowbar to his $77 million mansion in Manhattan, busted it through the front door.
Is that how that happened?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Good stuff.
I'm sure it's well-deserved based on, what is it, some kind of underage sex trafficking and what's the other charge? Paying children to rape them or something?
Yeah.
Something terrible.
Various lurid accusations.
Yeah, horrible stuff. Yeah. So anyway, you're listening to Pot of Thunder, huh? And guess who? You know it. Oh, yeah.
Here's my buddy Andy.
That's right. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother, here with... That's right. It's Gnarly Nick the Garlic Dragon. Bam! Bam! It's fun to do the sizzle. And as always, there he is. The breakout star of the podcast medium, the man who's once described as...
He was a moocher, a card cheat, a country club golf hustler, a scumbag.
Got to delete that moocher part still.
Well, at least sex trafficker isn't on that list.
Yeah, that would be a step below moocher. There's not many.
Would be.
Many things lower than that, but sex trafficker.
Yeah. Don't want that on your resume.
No. I don't know how far we should go into that
Well,
conversation.
no,
Probably not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, let's avoid that one today.
You can watch your national news to get your fill of that.
Yeah. Anyway, how's it going, guys? Here we are. Good. It's July something. I don't know what's going on.
Or other.
Yeah. What's the latest? What's hot? What are we doing? I don't know what's going on.
This is episode 320.
It is.
Goodness.
Big round number.
It's a lot of episodes.
It is a lot. I kind of forget that.
It's more episodes than I've had in my life.
Of
having
having
an episode.
Yeah, right? Same here.
Thankfully, I haven't had to have 320 episodes.
That would be too many episodes. So, guys, news. If you don't want to focus on the sex trafficking and whatever,
why would you?
Political mudslinging and whatever else, you're trying to avoid all that garbage, and you're just looking through social media, thumbing through your phone. A recent story that came up that you may have seen was about the Universal Studios fire that destroyed hundreds of thousands of master tapes in 2008.
And we're a few weeks behind.
We are.
But then again, we were 11 years behind when everybody was talking about it. So a couple more weeks.
Well,
what's the
you know
big
what?
deal?
That actually, I have a lot of questions about this whole scenario. If I could drop a few quickly.
Sure.
So it happened 11 years ago, and apparently nobody knew about it.
That's the way I've understood it.
I read somewhere that it was reported.
It had,
but didn't catch on, wasn't talked about for some
that
reason.
many master tapes had to have been in a somewhat sizable venue, right?
Anything that's burning hundreds of thousands of anything has to be a huge thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
It had to have been reported on. At least that there was a fire in a Universal Studios owned building, correct?
Yeah, there had to have been, but I never heard of it until a week or two ago.
Right.
That was.
So why didn't this come to light
it's
before?
so strange,
and why is
yeah.
it coming to light now?
I have no.
Because I only read the headlines. I didn't read any of the articles. Like, every article I clicked on was 50 screens long. It's like, I don't have time for this. I'm a modern consumer of media.
Give it to me in the headlines.
As Mitch LaFon's boys Bon Jovi say, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Give me the thumbnail. I was not going to read all that, so maybe it was covered, but the whole thing baffles me how it's transpired this way.
And it's strange. I was looking at the list the other day of people whose master tapes are gone.
It seems like it would be easier to have a list of people who didn't lose master tapes.
It seems that way. I mean, let me hit you with a couple real quick. So first it says it's the biggest disaster in the history of the music industry.
Yet nobody said anything about it for 11 years. How does this happen?
And fill in your own joke as to what artist you want to say is a bigger disaster.
Yeah, right.
Well,
there are plenty.
We'll give everybody a second to crack their own joke there.
Also called The Day the Music Burned.
Oh, good one.
All right.
Boy, how clever is that? What was that? A former writer for Midwest Beat magazine come up with that one.
Yeah, that's a reference to last week's rant.
Yeah, we're not going down.
Yeah, we don't need.
I'm going to seek professional help for the rest of that.
Yeah, some entire catalogs were wiped out. Short list. Louis Armstrong. I'll skip through here.
Now,
Buddy Guy.
As far as the masters being gone, so I guess we don't have isolated. Well, a lot of those probably weren't isolated tracks,
but not with these
I'm
older
assuming.
ones.
Yeah.
No.
So, I mean,
but then there's newer stuff.
As far as the applications for those old masters, I'm not sure. I guess for new technology, they can adapt it more purely, should that arise.
You're saying this is not as big a disaster as they're making it seem?
I'm questioning. I'm just trying to think of what the actual reasons are that, okay, these masters are gone. What are the reasons that to what degree is this music not preserved?
Well, and
anymore?
what new music technologies could there possibly be other than just having music appear out of thin air whenever you want it, conjuring it up like some sort of witch's spell out of nothing?
Yeah,
I mean, aren't we at a critical mass with technology? I mean, what else can we do other than
who knows? Literally
the phasing, the beaming up of people from one location to another? Well, I mean, what else is there?
I don't know.
If maybe Xbox will come out with Trumpet Hero, and we won't be able to play along. We won't be able to be Louis Armstrong doing strutting with some barbecue or something like that.
Yeah, that would be devastating. Yeah. But then there also are more contemporary artists like Nirvana, Eminem, Hole, Snoop Dogg, Soundgarden, blah, blah, blah. But Rock Around the Clock lost. Louie lost in this fire.
Well, that was a filthy song anyway.
Louie?
Isn't that the story?
Is it?
They couldn't understand what he was saying, so they assumed it was something nasty. So people were on the lookout.
Right. Oh, okay.
It was being watched.
But so here's my other question. Okay, everybody's pissed off at Universal for this alleged cover-up. First of all, did they try to conceal what happened? And second of all, short of them lighting the place up intentionally, can accidents not happen anymore in the world?
Apparently
Must
not.
somebody be blamed and taken to task for every little thing that happens?
Yes.
Well, and this is not a little thing, obviously.
No, but that is the way of the world.
but
Unfortunately.
And me sitting on my couch doing nothing is going to sit there and think, you know what? If I were the guy who could have prevented this, I would have prevented this from happening.
Yeah. So you could write about it on Twitter. What idiot let this burn?
Do your job.
Yeah, do your job, moron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't see any details of how this happened. How was it stored improperly? I don't know. Was it not in a, what is that called? Not halogen. What's that word? That fire where it like sucks air out instead of
Oh, you got me.
whatever it was. I know we used to have that. As weird as it sounds, we had that at Playboy in the
I
archive
wouldn't
room.
be surprised it was available
Instead of water sprinklers.
It sounds like something Chris would have wrote.
that.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Chris would have done a write up on in the catalog.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Sucking the air out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it was some kind of way to...
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was some type of system that does... where it stops the fire without shooting out water.
I had no idea.
Where it doesn't give it any more fuel or something.
Well, that's a valid question. Why wasn't
Yeah.
that in place here? But this had to have been a huge facility.
Yeah. Who knows? The details of this are sketchy. It's
Well,
just all the, hey, look at all this stuff that burned. Is
They're
what
also
the story
buried in 15 screens of text. It's like, I'm a fucking writer. I'm not reading this. Get
Yeah.
to the fucking point.
is. Yeah.
So-
I'm looking at it now. I can't even.
There's
I
some-
can't even scroll to the end.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Literally.
There was some kind of the downside is historically you mentioned like Louis Armstrong. There are people who like rock and roll pioneers. Their stuff is gone. I've got a few here.
Mm-hmm.
Fats Domino,
Yeah, I mean, these are...
Jerry Lee Lewis, Bobby Darin,
Damn.
Louis Prima, Ike Turner, Buddy Holly, Paul Anka.
Oh,
that one
I mean,
hurts. That one's
it's
personal.
painful to listen to this.
Super
obviously.
Tramp.
Well,
okay. Theirs is gone.
A gift from the universe. You know, the rest was collateral damage to get rid of the Supertramp master tapes. Now I don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah, Chris wishes
Hey, man.
that all the copies of their albums were burned too.
You want to make an omelet? You got to break a few eggs. Sacrifice Louis Armstrong to get rid of Supertramp. It's an even trade for me.
So
Worth it.
it's and everybody's bummed out about this. I don't think a lot of people even know why, but they are.
You know, that's totally right. You know, it's
and-
like, so the music is still available. If anything, this will just simply prevent the 89th remastered
Yes.
series of Louis Armstrong's collection. I mean, like, you're telling me all of his material isn't out there already? And if it's not, well, guess what? It's gone.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What were they holding on to it for so long?
There you go.
But it's bad news. But then we don't want to have bad news.
This is not a bad news program.
No. Even though it has been. How long have we been on right now?
6.5 years. Oh, you just mean today?
Yeah.
Both are true.
But we have good news.
Oh, good news is good.
Good
Let's see.
news.
Okay.
In the wreckage, because they had to sort through what they still had, what survived. They found some stuff that was unreleased. Some classic like past masters
That survived the fire?
There was like a cocoon of burning legends.
but
keeping this
but
safe.
like unreleased material.
Interesting.
Okay, well,
So they found we don't ask me how.
Well, we have our ways.
We
Come
have
on.
we have access to 3 of these master tapes.
Look at that.
That
See,
were-
this is actually news. I didn't even know that this was happening before I walked in here. So this is exciting stuff.
And we are the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting.
Is this like
of course we would have this.
Is this like some sort of residual double platinum club perk that we're enjoying here?
I would say yes. Maybe not directly related, but yeah. It's we get special treatment by the industry. How's that? We'll say that.
Again, this is all news to me, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we've been keeping it from you this whole
So
time.
we have what, 3?
We have 3.
what?
Yeah.
Songs?
We have 3
Is
master
what-
tapes of these are singles that were recorded.
of rock and roll pioneers.
Yeah, this
And
is
these are actual unreleased. This was stuff they were holding on to.
See, well, that calls into question what I said earlier, that apparently not everything has been released, and much of it will never be released, except for this stuff, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
we are going to do the service. I think if Andy's okay with it, we can queue up a clip.
Let's play one.
Let's play one.
We'll play one today.
We don't want to give everything away.
Yeah, hey, it's 2019. This is the modern age. We have to string this along, right? So we'll play one today.
And not even the whole song.
Yeah, we'll just give you a piece of this. So let's.
Are you just gonna play it, or are you just gonna give some information? Because I'm again completely in the dark.
It's got a handwritten label. I can read it to you.
What, 1958?
1958. Artist is Ricardo Honez and the number 12 combo.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not heard of that.
That sounds like a name from back then.
Ricardo Honez. And this song is called El Rancho.
Oh, wow.
1958.
1958's El Rancho. Are you guys ready to check this out?
For the first time ever, huh?
Let's play it.
Crack it open.
Here on Pot of Thunder.
El Rancho, El Rancho, El Rancho to me. El Rancho, El Rancho, El Rancho to me. Take me there, take me there, take me there, take me there.
Ricardo Honez and the number 12 combo, El Rancho.
How do you spell Honez? Is it H-O-N-tilde-E-Z?
It's with a J, but
okay.
yeah.
J-O. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Now it's making sense.
It makes more sense.
Got it.
When you...
I was thinking huevos.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So this guy it seems to me that he would be of the, given the time period, he would have been of the Richie Valens / Chris Montez ilk.
You know, it's like how...
the Latino heartthrob.
Basically how that works is one of these record companies gets a hit with one of these guys, and the other one, I say, I want my Richie Valens,
yeah,
you know?
Right, exactly.
And then
the next guy says, I want my Ricardo Honez.
That's right. See, I don't know what order this happened in.
Now, this had to have been before the record company executives talked him into changing his last name to Jones, I'm guessing.
Probably, but I don't know. There aren't any pictures of him. We don't know if he was a heartthrob or not.
Well, he was Latino, so he's 90% of the way there just with that.
Yeah, if you had the right hairstyle.
All these white 50s chicks seeking the ultimate rebellion.
A Latino man.
So they crave Chuck Berry, and the various Latino artists are out there. What could piss off a father more than that?
So what were those lyrics? He's saying El Rancho, El Rancho.
El Rancho to me.
To me. Okay.
And then take me there.
Take me there.
That's all you needed.
Yeah.
And then he's tearing it up on the guitar.
Oh yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a period correct solo. I mean, you hear the fact that rock and roll or Rock Around the Clock is gone with one of the most iconic guitar solos of all time. Here's your replacement. This one has survived, and it's here to ease the pain of the loss of that other one.
So yeah, maybe next week. Andy could be coaxed into queuing up another one.
We've got two more here.
Got two more extreme rarities.
Well, we can't really keep them to ourselves, right?
No, it'd be a disservice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, Ricardo Honez and the number 12 combo. Now I wonder what
the number. It's I asked the question, and as the question is coming out, it's making sense to me. So I'm not even gonna. Everybody else in the world has probably figured it out. I literally just figured it out.
I just wonder what it is. I mean, it depends what establishment this is, you know. Oops.
Well, no.
Well, but you understand it's a menu item.
Yes, it's a menu item, but I just
that
wonder.
didn't occur to me until I was literally asking the
yeah.
question.
To me, the number 12 item is the flauta dinner.
Okay. Well, that works.
Yeah.
In that
That's
case.
what it means to me. I mean, I guess it can mean different things to different
Well, it
people.
depends on what restaurant you're at.
Well,
It's
well,
every
if you're at,
El Rancho Grande.
it's the flauta dinner.
yeah, but every restaurant's number 12 isn't the flauta dinner.
No, but to me, El Rancho to me
To me,
is
to me.
number 12 is the
Yeah.
flauta dinner
Uh-huh.
with beans and rice.
It's all that matters.
Yeah. And if you veer away from that, I would say to the owner of that establishment,
How dare him? How dare him?
all right, so time to get down to business here. Chris, it's your turn to approve or deny a random choice from the listener submission list. So take off those cans and head on
I got
over
a
here.
sachet on over there.
Yeah. Hopefully it's more Ricardo Honias. I'd be into that.
I
Does he
wonder-
have more?
I don't know if he was one of those guys that recorded one song and something happened. Could be like that Walter Payton album. He recorded it.
He had an album?
When I was going to school,
Yeah.
we had I forget the guy's name, but we had a record producer come in. And he was talking to the class. And he was talking about working with the police, Diana Ross. He said, I even recorded a Walter Payton album. And
Wow.
it never got released. It just got shelved.
That's crazy. Even still?
Yeah.
Why not put it out?
I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a sensation that everyone, that sells.
You put that out on vinyl only and put it in stores in Chicagoland.
People buy it?
People are buying that.
You might not be able to anymore. The master tapes might be
That's
gone.
true. Did you check if Walter Payton was on the list? I see. You know who?
Well, Rappin' Rodney, was he on the list?
I hope not.
Oh,
There were
yeah,
a couple
that would be
names that
tragedy.
I didn't expect on the list. Like there were some comedians. Like I saw Bill Cosby. He was on the list. I saw Martin Luther King Jr. was on the list.
Did he have a comedy album?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of. I'm guessing it was one of those. One of those like. Didn't they have a lot of JFK albums?
I don't know. What was it?
I
What,
think
like
know what you're
speeches or
talking
Yeah,
something? or-
speeches and things like that.
Really?
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff like that. So that's probably what it is. Unless you never know.
Okay.
Martin Luther King might have had some other kind of side business going on.
Yeah, he might have had a celebrity roast of Jesse Jackson. Little Heard.
Had Martin Luther King survived, he would have had a Dean Martin roast. Am I wrong?
Eventually, you think that would
I think he
happen?
would have been on one. Yeah,
Could have.
just throwing it out there.
Don Rickles lobbing racial slurs at him.
Could have had red buttons up there.
Yeah.
Michael Landon,
Uh,
Freddie Prinze would have been on there.
These are all people from the
From the
famous
celebrity
roast.
roasts,
Celebrity
yeah.
roast.
yeah, the mind races with possibilities.
Were those on regular TV or something?
Yeah,
I think
they-
so.
yeah.
Just whatever network television.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those were a big deal for a while. They even had some that I had seen clips of where they got kind of silly with it, where they were all dressed like colonial kind of dress, and
That's what they're doing now.
And they had a roast of George Washington.
That's exactly
They had
what they're
they had
doing
a guy
now.
being George Washington. Where are they doing that?
On Netflix, there's a historical roast series where it's like George Washington. It's whatever. It's exactly what you just said. It's like
Okay.
Jeffrey Ross dressed as
Well,
like George Washington. So that must be where they got it from.
That
There's-
happened. I guess it's happening again then.
There's a whole series of that on Netflix that I've not turned on.
They
but-
did it in the 70s.
Okay. Well, there you go. So the number that came up on the random number generator was number 864. Chris sashayed over here, took a look at it, and gave it a thumbs up.
Yeah, this was an instant approval
Wow.
for me. Didn't even have to spend a nanosecond considering it.
No.
I will say that, and we'll talk about it more, but this wouldn't have been my first pick from this band. I would have probably picked 6 or 7 songs over this one, but this one is still excellent.
Okay.
All right. Well, would you like me to intro it?
Yeah, go ahead.
For Nick, the one person the one person on Earth who doesn't know what song it is right now.
That's true. I think even the cat can see it.
Yeah,
from
he's
there.
reading it. All right, here we go.
All right, Hamlin. This one's called
Burn Down Los Angeles,
Off of
Pressure and Time,
by the band.
Rival Sons.
Well, this is it's got Chris written all over it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm a unapologetic fanboy of this group, of everything they put out. I saw them in the Detroit area, I think back in 2014, and on the drive home, I put their entire catalog up to that point on shuffle. Not a single bad song.
Where are
came
these guys from?
Long Beach, California. I
Okay.
believe.
Okay.
And what's the name of the song again?
Burn Down Los Angeles.
Yep.
Now, is that where the Universal?
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I'm sure it is.
That's an interesting coincidence.
So
this
many
was-
coincidences here.
Well, I was about to say this was years before the controversy, but it was years after the actual fire.
yeah, this
So-
is 2011. So,
Yeah, well, between that and my love of the band, the accusations of shenanigans are going to be strong.
Yeah.
But this was, my conscience is clear. This is completely random. Who submitted this?
Steve Chappelle. Or
Okay.
Chappell. Steve, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Chappelle.
Any relation to Dave?
I think it's his dad.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, without looking or knowing
Or is
anything.
it David? Is it David Chappelle?
Dave.
Dave Chappelle?
Dave. No comments from Steve.
Okay.
Just submitted it, and that's fine.
Sometimes you don't need it.
Are there any other songs from this band on the list? You don't have to name them, but I don't
There's-
remember how many.
There's one other on the list.
Just one other.
Yep.
Jeez. Well, hopefully people will hear this and delve more into the band's catalog, because it's quite good. And since when I saw them, and that was for the Great Western Valkyrie tour, which is still my favorite album from them. They've come out with 2 more albums, still on top of their game. Excellent stuff.
How long have these guys been around?
That's a good question. I do not know for sure, but I think they've probably got 6 studio albums out by
We just
now, and an
we just got
EP.
an authentic flyover.
Yeah, we
you hear
did.
that? Sorry. 6 albums? Okay.
So they're
I was
2009.
gonna say what's rubbing up against Nick's dick this week, making these weird background noises.
it's weird that I don't even notice half the time.
Yeah, well,
I don't even bother to look. What is that down there?
it's weird, and yet it's not weird when you think about it. So,
Okay.
Are you looking it up too?
Go ahead. You be the guy.
Okay. Formed in 2009.
2009. Okay.
Yeah, Long Beach, California.
I don't know much about this band other than the fact that Chris is a big fan. Are these guys, did they have any kind of previous career or anything? Are these guys from any other bands that were notable, or is this...
I do not know much about their background. I think they've been in a few various other bands before.
But not like, oh, this guy was in
No one of
Dream
note that
Theater or
no,
something.
no,
you know,
definitely
Well,
not.
not that type of music.
You know, on Wikipedia, it's got associated acts.
Yes.
It's got Veruca Salt on there for some
Well, I think
reason.
the drummer was with Veruca Salt for a brief time.
Okay.
So that I did know that for some reason.
You ever run into Veruca Salt back in the day when you were in your
Louise
band?
Post was a customer of mine at Guitar Center. Sold her a PV amp.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I figured you'd have some
One of
kind
the other
story.
guys on the guitar floor wanted to bang her. Didn't have the balls to make it happen.
If it was the shirtless guy, he would have made it happen.
Yeah, he would have.
The guy
yeah.
who took his
Yeah.
shirt off to fight
He
everyone.
would have done it or got arrested trying.
Yeah, he was the the warehouse guy. Everybody wanted to fuck the warehouse guy. But no, it's funny. One of the other guys on the guitar floor had a total crush on her, and we tried to convince him to ask her out. He never had the nads.
Did she come in frequently?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people did. I mean, that store was right in the heart of the action.
Wow.
And that was before there were as many stores.
Yeah, there were 15 stores in the chain when I worked there. Now there's got to be at least 200, right?
Probably.
I have no
Probably.
idea, but...
I mean, I could think of like 5 within 30 miles or so.
Yeah. I still even remember my employee number, 2102.
Wow. To log into the computer or something?
Well, to get your commission.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there still works there, punch that number in. Give me 1% on your next deal.
Who was 2112? That was probably
That's a
a
good question.
super nerd. Huh?
Yeah. Some dickhead probably craved that number.
Somebody who really lobbied to get that number.
Exactly. Thought they were cool. Probably like everybody else, lasted 3 months there and was gone. I managed to make it 1.5 years. I don't know. I have no idea how, but...
All right. Well, here we go. Are you guys ready? Chris, is there anything you want to say about the song before we play it?
Just like I said, I would, if I was to pick just a rival Sun's song to do of my own volition, there would probably be 6 to 8, maybe even 10 that I would pick over this one. But this one is still awesome. So, give you a little indication of how deep of quality I think is in their catalog.
Okay. Nick, any thoughts on Rival Sons before we kick it off?
I know
here?
I've listened to a couple of songs, but I'm interested in really focusing on it and getting into this one. It's making me think of I guess this would be my Rival Sons, like a more recent band that about the similar amount of output, where everything I've heard is good, and I've mentioned them a few times before, and that would be Airborne. Yeah. Yep.
That was my guess. Okay.
Now they're still active, right?
Yeah, I think they just released something, or it's coming out, or just came out, or I got to get on that.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
I don't know. What am I doing? I got to go.
All right, we'll see you later. All right, well, this is track 6 of 10 or 12, depending if you have the bonus track version. Chris, are you bonus track version guy?
I have everything they've ever put out.
Okay,
so I would
yes.
have to say yes.
Okay.
Now, just out of curiosity, do they have any cover songs that they've put out? Or is it all originals? I'm just curious as to like a point of reference for a cover song that they would go for.
You know, I can't pinpoint a cover that they've done, at least released on an album. I can't even think of them doing one in concert.
Okay.
I thought they covered El Rancho.
They will now.
Next time you see them.
Okay.
This is going to be like when Hendrix did Sgt. Pepper like a couple days after the album came out.
Exactly.
All right, then. Without any further ado, Burn Down Los Angeles.
Sounds great. Like the drums.
Yeah, their drum sounds are universally excellent, and one of the things that they always have is that huge kick drum sound. It's not muffled in any way. It's like almost like, you know, most drummers either have the muffler ring or they shove a blanket in there or whatever. You get the impression that there's not little or none of that going on. It's just like so much resonance and so much hugeness to the sound.
And this sounds like you're standing a few feet away from a drum kit.
Yeah, I mean
you can hear the other drums
kind of
even when they're not being
buzzing or whatever.
hit. Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I'm sick of
you can hear the resonance.
Yes, exactly.
Amongst all the whole kit,
and you can also get a sense of the room as well.
We've talked about this for 320 episodes, but I'm sick of the modern drum sound where it's like so perfect, and so over the top. You don't hear any character or any, like you said, the room or other drums or any mistakes or variations in the dynamics of a hit on a drum head or whatever. It's just all the exact same.
And
It's boring.
I know this isn't much that we've heard so far, but just the opening hi-hat count was super aggressive and cool sounding. Like even that, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah. They're just they're fantastic. Everything they've put out has been outstanding, and yeah, the drum sounds are great. In my rudimentary understanding of drums, I've found that to get a similar kick drum sound to this is you have very, very little muffling on the batter head, and you do not cut a mic hole in the resonant head. I never understood the need for that, to have the mic slightly in the drum. Why can't you just have it in front of it? Don't cut a hole in the head and get a bigger sound out of it. To me, it was noticeable compared to other kick drums that had the mic hole cut into it. So that's just my rudimentary understanding, but it jumped out at me that if you wanted to achieve this kick drum sound, that was the way to do it.
Yeah, just whatever they're doing, it sounds great so far.
Yeah, and it's very retro, which is what they get bashed for. Yet
I can't. Why would? Why bash somebody? Of the millions of people who say, "Oh, I wish music today wasn't so terrible compared to the stuff from years ago," and then you get a band who sounds like it, and then everybody's ready to rip them to shreds.
And they get bashed for being too derivative. It's like, okay, well, go listen to A Whole Lot of Love for the 9 millionth time. It's like, why wouldn't you want to hear something, a fresh take on that formula, which this is. It's an original song, original lyrics, original approach to the music. Why wouldn't you want to consume this? But people, they're just looking for reasons to not like something these days, especially jackasses my age.
People hate both sides of the coin these days.
People hate everything. They Bedroom dickheads complaining.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's the worst.
Now, as you can hear, the guitarist Scott Holiday, he loves his effects, specifically delays, and he's way into fuzz tones, which you don't really hear a ton of that now, but it's still a very sort of retro guitar sound. There are a few songs in their catalog where they actually, to me, are very strictly in like an Animals camp.
Okay.
So they get that far back retro, but they're obviously a little heavier than that. And then the vocals, Jay Buchanan is just an unbelievable vocalist. I mean, some of the stuff he's able to pull off is incredible.
And they've got a good amount of fuzz on the vocal too. They've got some overdrive going on.
Yeah.
Which is true. I think now the other band coming to mind is Greta Van Fleet, who I don't know that much of, but he doesn't seem to I don't know. I sound like uninformed boob here, but is there overdrive on that guy's
I've only heard a little bit of their stuff, and it was more clean.
Okay.
But they might have stuff that's...
Because I'm trying to identify if there's a trend, something...
I don't think...
If this style of music, are there certain elements that have to be there nowadays?
I don't think that's a match on that one, but maybe there's more to their catalog than what I've heard.
Yeah, that's a band that just hasn't grabbed me. I've given a cursory listen to couple of their singles, and I watched their I think Tonight Show performance, and just the vibe I get from them is just that they've been rushed into the spotlight. They're not fully developed yet, whereas these guys have.
Well, they're probably 20 years difference in age.
Yeah,
and experience.
Yeah, that's true. But
those guys are like 20 years old, aren't they?
Greta Van Fleet,
yeah,
they're around there.
Yeah.
And these guys, Rival Sons, are like mid to late 30s already. But
okay.
But still, I mean, there's tons of bands throughout rock history who were in the late teens, early 20s who had it going on.
Yeah.
They just strike me as not being fully developed yet. They've been, whoever's behind them, and make no mistake, somebody is. A band like that just doesn't come out of nowhere these days and become the phenomenon that they've become. Somebody is financing that. Somebody is marketing that. Mm-hmm. Whoever decided that they should be the next big time sort of retro band, it seems to me they've sort of rushed them into the spotlight. The fans don't seem to care. People seem to be enjoying it.
If they're putting out good stuff, then
yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it just hasn't grabbed me, hasn't inspired me to purchase anything. Whereas on the flip side, I own everything these guys, Rival Sons, have put out. So
on the retro thing, not to keep delaying the song here, but it just made me think of something else. That if people complain about it, but it's, I think, what a lot of people want, and it's not the only genre where there's some big potential to kind of go retro. I'm thinking Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
because the last couple of hits he's had sounds like stuff from the Break-In movies, like legitimately out of the Break-In movies.
Right.
So it's and look at the new TV shows that are coming out. Andy was just telling me how he loves Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I mean, all these things that are
set in a certain time or whatever reference to 80s or something. Yeah,
shows, movies, music. It's to go retro. It's working.
Yeah. Well, and Hollywood. How many reboots of like every classic movies they come out? They just did that. All in the Family, Jefferson's recreation and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the same token, you come out with something like this, and there's still going to be a faction of people who bash you for not being innovative or original. Guess what? People don't want that in their entertainment. They want something that's familiar, something they enjoy.
They want something in a genre that they already enjoy.
Exactly.
It's a contribution, a substantial contribution to a genre that they're into.
Yeah, but to reject this in favor of listening to a Zeppelin album for the 9 millionth time is just something I don't get.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you want at least a fresh take on the music that you enjoy? I just don't get the criticism of it. It makes no sense to me.
Come from the summer off of the rail with my hammer in hand, about to hit it on the nail. Gonna burn down Los Angeles, burn down Los Angeles, burn down Los.
And he plays a lot of slide guitar. You can hear it in this. It's just another thing I wanted to point out. But I never really delved into the lyrics in terms of what they might be talking about or singing about in this one. I don't know, that just the power of the guy's voice and the melodies are what draw me in. I've never really gone too deep into the lyrics on a lot of their songs.
I think we should, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while Andy's looking it up, even though I know he's got it already, pretending like I'm stalling for you.
Sure.
I really, really like, and for some reason I can't think of another song where they do it quite this way. I really like what the drums are doing during this chorus. Just bashing the cymbal and and muting it with his hand, just over and over and over.
That's pretty unique.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it's got a marching kind of a quality to it. And they're talking about burning down a city, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's really he's an awesome drummer. I mean,
he sounds great so far on this one.
I mean, every album has got kick-ass drumming and just stuff that will blow you away. And he's one of these, he's got this simple 4-piece kit. He's not Mike Portnoy, but he really does some cool stuff and is always got a kick-ass sound to his drums.
Cool. You want to hear the lyrics?
Yeah.
I come from the mountains down to the water. I come to drink from the dreams of your sons and daughters. I come from the summer off the rails, with my hammer in hand, about to hit it on the nail.
Somebody going to Los Angeles to pursue a dream, I guess.
Yeah, and he's gonna
from a small town.
He's gonna set that town on fire.
That's
set
a good
that town
interpretation.
Ablaze. That's the way I'm taking it too. Yeah, I don't think it's like
sort of a welcome to the jungle.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, that's like I said, I never even delved into the lyrics of this one, but that would be a good interpretation as opposed to some versus like a Rage Against the Machine, the Battle of Los Angeles, or some sort of statement about Rodney King.
I was going to say I don't think this is Rodney King riots.
Yeah, which of course this was written and came out long after that stuff. But you see the title and your mind automatically goes there. But I'm liking Nick's interpretation.
See, I'm getting ahead of myself mentally here because I'm almost thinking, okay, is it going to go into an area where there's going to be disillusionment going on? I'm going to set the town on fire, and then
oops, I didn't.
And then the next verse or third verse is going to be, wow, this town is I want to destroy it. It's so terrible. I don't know what it's done to me.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Angeles, I'm gonna bow down, look back. Come for revenge from my broken dreams. Didn't come to wait tables or park limousines.
So I heard something in there about waiting tables, so that would go into Nick's interpretation.
And broken dreams, right?
Well, sort of. He said, I come for revenge for my broken dreams. I didn't come to wait tables or park limousines. So I think he's saying, I'm not going to accept any BS.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to let that happen to me, what Nick said. Which you were right that it would sort of go in that direction, but he's saying, this is not going to happen to me instead of this happened to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it could be like, well, he's almost like this is not going to happen to me this time. Like he did that
maybe before.
Did that once before, and he's like, okay, this is my last shot. I'm going all in.
Yeah. If he has broken dreams, then that
it's
indicates
more,
that something happened in the past.
I'm getting more of like a redemptive kind of an attitude more than a despair.
Yeah, and I do get the impression, I don't know, I am not versed in their background, but they did come on the scene as somewhat older. I think mid to late 20s they came on the scene when they really got together in this band, but I definitely get the impression that all of the members had been in several bands of, I don't know about if notable is the right word, but
taking a crack at it.
Yeah. And finally convened and hit on this formula, and they're doing quite well now.
Get up on my hands and knees.
That's interesting because it's a pretty, like, with the overdrive and everything going on in the effects, it's got a noise rock kind of quality to it. Mm-hmm. And when he's holding that note, singing the word burn, with all the other sounds going on, it's making me think of like Riot in the Streets and a siren.
I was just about
wailing.
to say the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know, but it's a pretty great...
Yeah.
Pretty
I
great.
was about to bring up the same thing.
It struck both of you the same way, so
Maybe it was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're a retro throwback. They get compared to Zeppelin all the time just because some of the riffs are similar.
Which I don't hear at all in this song.
I don't either.
Not necessarily in this song,
Yeah.
but there are some that, like, and we've talked about it before. It's like, nobody else in the history of music can write that kind of swaggering bluesy riff without being compared to Zeppelin. Get out of here. I mean, it's just, it's what it sounds good, and you if you're influenced by that, you put your own take on it.
Yeah.
It might sound similar occasionally, but just these knee-jerk comparisons to Zeppelin. Can we just stop doing that?
just in general.
Yeah,
Tired
just tired
of
of
it.
hearing
Yeah,
it.
it's so stupid. It's like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? Why can't you play rock music?
It's like, I don't like this metal band. They just hit an open E power chord. That's too Sabbath for me.
Right.
Yeah, right.
What are they doing? Come on. Come up with something.
I feel like people who complain about stuff like that are just mad at everything, right? Because you can't be serious that you really, you know what I mean? Like,
I think some people are.
are they? I think they're just
guess.
mad at life. I don't know. Which, hey, if life's got you down, I'm sorry. But is it one of those things where you just don't want to, you just have to stick to your bands from your time?
And
you
I
can't
get that. That's your most impressionable time, and you're
Yeah,
always going to
everybody
look
has
back
that.
upon that fondly. But to have it completely shut off your acceptance of anything that's come out since then that's your own loss. I mean, nobody else is suffering over that.
Right. It's ridiculous. In general, I think that's one of the mission statements of Pot of Thunder, even though we're guilty of it. People need to stop complaining about every possible thing on the planet, because it's exhausting for me just to read it. I can't imagine living it.
Yeah, but that's what gets you attention.
I guess.
You don't get nearly as much attention being the person putting out something original. You get way more attention being the person bashing it.
So are you telling me that you don't really catch more bees with honey, Nick?
Depends what the bees are, I guess, but no, I don't think so.
Well, and when people put out something that's truly original, people who claim they want it are like, what is this? I can't. I don't understand this. This is noise. This is crap.
That's why you shouldn't listen to anybody,
Right.
Ever.
And then something like this comes out, and they're just like, and one of the biggest easy criticisms that somebody comes out with is, oh, the songwriting isn't there. What are you talking about? What's missing in the songwriting? The only thing missing in this songwriting is it hasn't been driven into your skull time and time again by fucking classic rock radio. It's the only difference.
If you're a bedroom dickhead and you criticize someone for the songwriting not being there, there's only one thing to say to you.
How dare him? How dare him?
Well, it's just it's
be
the
quiet.
easy thing to say when you got nothing else to hang your hat on.
It's so
It's
stupid.
like, the songwriting is weak.
I'm
Get
hearing-
out of
Shut
here.
up.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm hearing
And-
more.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm hearing more. I was trying to think of like just the overall sound. I'm hearing more of like an Iggy Pop sound, like Lust
Yeah,
for Life,
yeah,
kind
there's,
of
they've
a
got-
vibe.
right, there's
I'm not hearing Zeppelin or anything.
well, but
like
there
that, really.
again, there are
There are
plenty
other
other
songs,
songs in
yeah.
their catalog that you would instantly compare to.
Yeah, but I mean, this one I'm hearing like a the overdriven Iggy Pop kind of a sound.
The title track of this album has got a riff that a lot of people would just instantly, their minds would go to Zeppelin. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a fucking great riff, you know. Again, this particular song, I would have not picked it ahead of probably 10 other songs. Every time I mention that, I keep increasing the number. I realize I'm doing that, but
this song's pretty cool though.
No, it's great. I mean, coming back from that show from Detroit area, about a 4-hour trip, I just put their entire catalog on shuffle, and I had enough material to make it through the whole trip. I didn't hear one bad cut.
That's impressive.
But that might have a lot to do with the fact that I'm simply a fanboy of this band. But
sure, but
if
there
there's
must be a
crap
reason,
in the
though.
catalog, I'm not just gonna, I put the Kiss catalog on shuffle. Talk to Me comes up. That song is crap. I'm gonna skip it. I didn't hear any of that in the Rival Sons catalog up through Great Western Valkyrie, and since then they've put out 2 more albums that are equally impressive, the latest one especially, and these guys can just do no wrong, in my opinion.
Not a lot of fat there.
No, I like the fact that there wasn't. I was trying to speculate lyrically where it was going to go. I thought there'd be like a third verse that's going to kind of sum up everything, or it didn't go to that. It didn't need to.
2 minutes and 35. I don't know. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. It's all you need.
I love that.
Big fan of a short song.
Yeah, that's in the tradition of Don't Believe a Word, Thin Lizzy. That's about probably almost the same length. Live version even shorter. Just balls to the wall the whole time. It's in that tradition.
Are you you probably, since I'm not nearly as big a Thin Lizzy guy as you, but you just made me think of it. Have you heard the Old Gray Whistle test, or have you seen that video of them doing Don't Believe a Word? Where it's a lot kind of slower and more mellow.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting choice. I like it.
Yeah, that song had a couple different iterations. Had I think originally it was the slower version, then they jacked it up. But the Live and Dangerous version of that is barely 2 minutes long. Fucking incredible. But this is a potent cut. And the weird thing about Rival Sons for me is I'm a guitar player, and I'm not one of these guys a guitar player who only listens to horn players or that nonsense, Which,
Again,
if you want to do that, fine, but don't criticize a guitar player for appreciating other guitar players. This guy's style is not really something that I key in on as being super into. Like, I'm not super into slide guitar. I'm not super into fuzz tones. And like a lot of his solos are just not the type of solo I would generally prefer to hear, but just in the context of the band, it's just brilliant.
Well, it's time to vote Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch. Chris, I think you should vote first.
Yeah, Sweet Surrender for me.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Yeah, if you liked this one, trust me, they're
still funny.
There are, a dozen songs I could name, and yes, I increased that number again. I realize I'm doing this,
going up like 0.8 songs.
But
every time.
I'm literally like trying to place this in the ranking of all their songs, and every time I think about it, another one pops in ahead of it. But this song is still great, which to me illustrates the depth and the quality of their catalog. So if you've never explored these guys, this is a good album to start with. This one and the one that followed it, Great Western Valkyrie, are good starting points, but you can't go wrong with any of it. I will also say that this is the last album they did with their original bass player, and he had a lot of cool stuff going on, very John Paul Jones style player. Then they got the new guy who's been with them for the past 3 albums, and he's got some cool stuff going on too. Might be considered bit players, both of them, but they both contributed to the sound pretty significantly. But yeah, there was a slight transition there, but the 3 other core members are still intact.
Nick?
A Sweet Surrender for me.
Ooh.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Still not used to waiting a second there at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's like a change up coming at you. I thought it was a very, very cool song, and
And you never heard it before?
No, I'd heard maybe a couple of songs by these guys, and just was never anything where I just dug into it any deeper than that. But this is a very cool song. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The couple of other artists that I'm a fan of are coming to mind, just like little bits and pieces, like the slide guitar, thinking like a Rose Tattoo thing, because that was their big signature thing, as they were kind of AC/DC with a slide.
I can't wait for them to show up on the list, by the way.
Yeah.
But
They not on the list at all?
I don't know if
If
they are.
they're-
I haven't noticed.
If they're
but-
not, our listeners need to step
Yeah,
up.
that's a mistake.
Yeah.
And then like this sound of the overdriven slide guitar makes me think of like No More Tears era Zakk Wylde.
Wow. That's
he-
quite a comparison.
He was pretty. He was pretty. He had a pretty signature sound for that time period and doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Like No More Tears. Is there a cooler sounding slide guitar
No, that's a good
than
point,
the verse
actually.
of No More Tears or the intro? But I don't know, and like it's got that overdriven kind of almost noise rock thing, which is really cool sounding.
Yeah, and you would think that approach to it would earn them some credibility with the pitchfork Lollapalooza crowd of the day. And these guys are doing well, don't get me wrong, but a singer of the caliber of Jay Buchanan, he should be a fucking icon, like on the level of Robert Plant, but it's just that type of adoration just doesn't come the way of somebody who's in a band like this anymore, which is just the times have changed.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Trying to figure out what it was about. It seemed pretty cut and dry, actually.
Yeah, I'm coming to the big city to kick some ass.
Didn't
pretty
go
much.
too deep. We don't know how it ended, and that's fine.
Yeah. It hasn't ended, I guess.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's what they're saying. But I like the brevity of the song.
Yeah.
Very cool song. I mean, nothing bad to say about it. Andy, what do you think?
I will agree with you guys and give it a Sweet Surrender.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
What was the drummer's name again?
Mike Miley, I believe is his name.
I like Mike Miley. I'm going to check out more.
I like him very much after hearing this one.
yeah.
I'm going to check out more of their stuff. I mean, everybody's doing their thing in this band, it sounds like, but I'm a big fan of what he did on the drums.
Yeah.
Choices-wise, you know what I mean? It's not like you said before, it's not the flash of what he's doing, but it's the creativity, excuse me, originality, just the placement of certain things at certain points in the song. It's what's cool. It's not like the exact same drum fills and drum beats that you've heard in every song your whole life. there's some variation of everything. So, and also the brevity of the song, the theme of the song. Like I said, I'm going to go to the big city and grab it by the balls and take what's mine or whatever.
And an interesting twist insinuating that I'd been here once before. It didn't go too well.
Yeah. I've regrouped and I'm coming. Oh, wait, that sounds like the story of the Garlic Dragon on Pot of Thunder. He's come to steal honey from the killer bees in this room.
Maybe J. Buchanan's spirit was also broken by LL Cool J. Who knows? But the funny thing is that show I saw them at in Pontiac, Michigan. I was with the old Mean Red singer and a friend of his, and this friend of his knew somebody at the club and got us backstage after their set, which is, boy, what do you want to see after you're doing a rock show is a bunch of scrags like us waiting for you. But there was like nobody else back there, and we were hanging out with these guys, and they were really cool. The singer actually said to me, he's like, I actually don't really consider myself as much of a singer as I do a songwriter. And I wanted to slap him. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're one of the greatest singers to come around in 30 years. And he's like, yeah, I'm less into my singing than my songwriting. I was like,
well, that's
quite a statement.
I guess that's not a bad way to go about it. Potentially, if you're viewing your voice as the vehicle for your songs, then you're a double threat.
It was just after if you ever see these guys live, you witness this guy in action for 2 hours, and then you talk to him afterward, and he says that it's just a total disconnect. But that was kind of an amusing tidbit there.
Well, 3 sweet surrenders wins you a trip to the next round. Rival sons.
All right, Hammond! I got a question for you.
I'm sure they're excited to have made it to this round. And Paul Stanley needs to know. Oh,
like they hit bucket 5. This is bucket.
Bozo bucket?
This is bucket number 6.
This is the crisp $100 bill? Or is this the Schwinn bicycle?
It's both.
Oh, it's both.
I think a $100 bill in the bucket, a Schwinn bicycle,
man,
pack of bun bars,
and a number 12 combo if you're lucky. The icing on the cake. That's a flauta dinner. You're a flauta guy.
I'm a flauta guy, yeah. The chicken flautas. That's my jam.
Yeah, I think that was in a yard of questions before, but I Mexican food is just always never a bad idea from my standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Except for one particular restaurant we discussed last week. We won't get on that road again, but yeah, my favorite. So,
and I want to, without getting back into that whole discussion from last week.
Yeah.
Just it occurred to me because we had that coincidence today with the talking about that vault burning down,
right?
And then
right.
Los Angeles. I just thought it was interesting. We had Slave to the Grind last week, and I believe that the gentleman in question's name might actually mean King of the World.
Yes.
And you can't be king of the world if you're slave to the grind.
What a coincidence. More shenanigans.
Another interesting coincidence that occurred to me after the fact.
Yes.
So was that Universal building that burned down, that was in California?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Completely random. I know people don't believe us when we say that, but it's absolutely true. My conscience is clear.
What a stupid place to keep important stuff.
Well, where else are you going to keep it?
I don't know.
I didn't know that about the Playboy archive, though. I mean, the Universal archive must have just been simply too big to have that kind of technology going on. I don't know. I never knew that.
Yeah, whatever. I was going to look up what it's called, but no one cares. Anyway, Burn Down Los Angeles. Is it a rock and roll boner classic as voted by the 3 rock and roll boners in this room and Batman the Cat, who's slid his vote over to me? Sitting here
It was
on the
in
shelf.
and it was in San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles.
There you go.
Another interesting coincidence.
I just feel like I mean, I guess you could say anywhere in the country has its own unique problems. Hurricanes, tornadoes. But I feel like Los Angeles, earthquakes, God knows what else.
So was it part of a wildfire or just a self-contained blaze?
I think the security guard fell asleep with a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, that could have been.
It says the fire. Now this is Wikipedia, so whatever. But
Okay.
the fire began when a worker used a blowtorch to warm asphalt shingles being applied to a facade.
Didn't this just happen somewhere else? The exact same thing? Hold on.
How much do you have to warm? I don't know anything about
My brain is
putting up a facade, but
something's happening here.
how much
Damn
do you
it,
have
I'm
to?
gonna
How
think of
much
it.
do you have to warm asphalt to do that?
That's a technique, but I feel like this just happened.
Okay.
Whatever. I
Well.
can't think of what it was, but another story was the exact same reason
It's
for a
almost
big
like
fire.
the roofer's version of creme brulee.
Exactly. You think that in 2019 there's got to be a better way to do this. Blowtorch that could potentially start a building on fire.
Well, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. 3 votes. Has to be unanimous. Is Burn Down Los Angeles a big smelly boner classic?
What's more manly than that? What's more masculine than that?
No one wants a big clean boner. Not appealing to all the senses.
A big clean boner has been used enough. You want one that knows what it's doing, has a little experience. A boner with some grime on it. A boner that looks like Fonzie's coveralls on the Happy Days episode. What I'm talking about. All right, what's the order? Are you guys votes in?
I say yes.
Yeah, mine's in.
And it should go Chris, Nick, Andy. Or whatever. I just think Chris should go first. Dropping stuff.
Knocking stuff over.
Everything is picked up on these blue
It
microphones. Every little noise, I could scratch my mustache and hear it.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get it started. Are we ready?
Yes.
I'm going to say rock.
Roll.
Not smelly enough boner.
Oh, well, that's how it goes.
Not a soft boner. Not a totally clean boner. And I feel like this band, if I got one of those other 11 songs above this, would be there. It's definitely piqued my interest.
See,
But
I almost did a no boner for that reason, that there are so many more songs by them that I like better. But really what tipped it over was the analysis of the lyrics and what
Yeah.
the song is actually about. I can definitely get on board with that.
I'm a fan. It's a very cool song. I don't know. I'm already regretting my decision, but it's too late. I feel like it's there, but it's maybe this isn't the one yet. This isn't the one from Rival Sons, I should say. So, I'm the asshole today.
Well, based on the stuff that you guys mentioned that you liked about the song, I will steer you in the direction of the title track of this album, and then the opening track of the next album, Electric Man.
I like that.
I
like that name.
I would encourage you guys to listen to either or both of those, and I would be surprised if that didn't send you completely down the rabbit hole.
I don't even need to hear it. Big smelly boner to Electric Man.
Oh yeah, no, and the lyrics are
They have great album titles.
yeah, oh yeah, and the lyrics of Electric Man are sensational. And then from their most recent album, the second single, Too Bad, incredible, amazing vocal performance.
Also a good name.
Yeah.
It's making me think of the old Scorpion song, Robot Man.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't tell.
Yeah, Robot Man, Electric Man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to put them on back to back, see what
I think
happens.
we've got some new couple converts to this band.
I think so. I'll definitely be listening tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good. I'd be surprised if you didn't. Probably not like it as much as me, but I would be very surprised if you didn't find at least a half dozen other songs in their catalog that you were really into.
Yeah, and it's been overdue for me to check this band out, so about time. And I know a lot of people who listen to our show love this band too. So, do you hear it? You guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was gonna
Somebody
say. I
playing
feel like
the piano.
I feel like that's one of the other master tapes being played in the studio next door.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, I hear familiar.
Making sure it's all of it's still there.
Yeah, I think so. Just queuing it up maybe for next week.
Interesting.
We'll see. But anyway, if you disagree with me or with Nick and Chris, I'm sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Can you believe Paul Anka's Masters got burned? That one's personal for me.
It's disappointing.
And I was reading up because I saw that it was his, and then that made me kind of look some more stuff up about Mr. Paul Anka.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that he wrote a song for Buddy Holly.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, there was a Buddy Holly song that was written by Paul Anka.
How long has he been active? Forever?
In the 50s, I mean.
Mid-50s.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
and he's done something for our show.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. To think he was like, you know, the go-to guy for like Sinatra needs a song. Okay, call Anka. He wrote a song for Buddy Holly, did all this stuff with Michael Jackson. Just the list goes on and on. It's incredible.
Spends time with Michael Cavaccini.
And to think that he spent like 20 seconds of his life talking about, even though he never heard us, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Doing a promo for us for no good reason.
Well, let's hear it.
Hi guys, this is Paul Anka, and you're listening to one of my favorite hangout places, Pot of Thunder. Stay tuned and don't miss it daily. They got it down and they do it my way. Anka, check it out.
And he was
so cool.
He was a villain on a Kojak episode.
Jeez,
To think that
this
this guy spent that brief time even.
He's responsible for the song "You're Having My Baby." I mean, what that's
what else
that alone is just. I mean, "You're Having My Baby." What a lovely way of showing how much you love me. How fucking hilarious is that?
You're gonna upset my mom. She's listening.
Yeah,
that was one of her.
Oh, I'm speaking in reverence.
Oh,
trust me.
That's one of my mom's favorites.
This is right up there with the whole. You know, we're gonna fuck around and make a baby in this room and throw this money on you. Just the whole concept, singing about impregnating a woman. It just doesn't get any more audacious than that.
There was that,
to reiterate, I speak in absolute reverence of that.
The only other song I could think of is I think it was a Billy Paul song. Let's Make a Baby.
Let's make a baby.
I think that was Billy Paul.
Yeah,
probably it would be him.
It's of course Me and Mrs. Jones, a song about banging another man's wife.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quality material.
Yeah.
This outstanding subject matter.
Well, guys, you know what time it is.
Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
Baseball fever, catch it.
It's time.
How come neither of you guys have ever run into Tim Meadows in the city?
I have no idea.
It's too bad.
He's just, I don't know. There was almost a Tim Meadows studio booking one time, and then it got canceled, and I was so disappointed.
I've been watching, it's been on rotation on HBO, Mean Girls a lot lately.
Yeah.
He's in that.
He's a principal
Yeah,
on it?
he's great in that. He's great in everything.
He's great in everything he's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
I won't disagree with you on that.
All right, so today's Yardo questions comes to us from... Oh, I wish we had a... Damn it. There's a clip that would go with this that made me think of it. But give me a second. Let's see if we can make this happen on the fly.
I like that you're doing something.
I don't know if we can make this happen. Oh, no, I don't think we can. Damn it. It's not going to work. This clip does not exist on its own. I'd have to mine for it, and we don't have time for that.
What?
Well,
it's not one I sent you recently.
No.
That's too bad.
This comes from a lady. And I was going to use the ladies' man. Ooh, it's a lady.
Ooh, it's a lady.
Yeah, whenever a woman would call his show. Would have been good, but didn't have that one ready because that never happens on Pot of Thunder. So,
Yeah.
All right, so this comes to us from Jackie Hardigan, frequent commenter on Facebook.
And a friend of ours.
A friend of ours from way back when.
Is she aware of because we did in Nick's absence, we did Survivor song, Eye of the Tiger. And I spoke highly of the follow-up album, Caught in the Game. Is this person aware of the Survivor song, Jackie Don't Go?
Yeah, I'm sure she'll let us know.
Yeah.
If she's not, she should be. She should adopt it as her personal anthem. I mean, what other song out there has the word Jackie in the title?
Not enough.
That's another one that just cracks me up. It's singing about a woman named Jackie. How great is that?
I love it. It's great.
Contains the lyric, "There was passion in the schoolyard upon the autumn leaves."
Wow.
Brilliant shit. Have you ever heard that?
No, I don't know that
You
one.
need to hear that one.
So the passion was so palpable that it was on the leaves.
Yeah,
even
they just had to
like a dew.
The
almost.
shadows.
Yeah. They just had to start fucking right then and there.
There was a pile of leaves nearby.
Yeah.
I gathered some leaves. Took a makeshift pile. So Jackie used to come see
Found
our...
a paper bag, a giant one. Filled it up with some leaves. Made a mattress.
Made one of those weird ramped cushions for different positions. Optimal
Lumbar
positioning.
support.
Exactly.
Always helpful when passion overcomes you on a schoolyard.
It's good that the guy kept his head, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like, passion, but still thinking.
Mm-hmm. So I was going to mention, Jackie used to come see the Flying Errands play. So that's how long we've known Jackie.
And she still even wants to communicate with us.
I was going to say, she's
way.
still in your orbit. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
And that's been done for 13 years.
That's a credit to her.
So.
All right.
So she says, this Yardo Questions is dedicated to the ladies out there.
Oh, boy.
I like it.
Question 1. If you were to turn your song pick over to your significant other this week, what song do you think they would pick? There's an idea for a future episode, a Ladies of Thunder takeover.
I mean, the
that's
closest we
interesting.
came to that was having all three of them on the opening theme music.
Oh, yeah, that one. The Pot of Thunder intro clip.
Yeah,
right,
that's the
right,
closest that we've come to having that happen. So what song would our wives pick?
Maybe a song. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have to nail it down to the one.
Pick one.
Maybe something.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with something that my wife listens to a lot at home. I think and speaking of a band who has a retro sound, an unapologetically retro sound, deliberate and nails it, I think she would go with a Sharon Jones and the Dap-Kings song.
I'm not familiar.
They have it's very much like a 1960s kind of sort of girl group kind of and they nail the sound, and we have a couple of records of theirs.
And they're current?
Yeah.
Cool.
They're still around. They got a pretty good amount of records out, and I think it's what's it called? Stranger to My Happiness, I think, is the song that that usually she gets down to when it's on. Can't help herself.
I like that.
She gets down.
This is I'm gonna throw one out there because it's actually funny that she's on board with my interpretation of it, but because of its placement in the movie Fargo, I developed an affinity for the Jose Feliciano song "Let's Find Each Other Tonight." But whenever I sing the chorus, I swap out the word "find" for "fuck." And my wife sings it right along with me. So
there you go.
"Let's Fuck Each Other Tonight" by Jose Feliciano.
I like that. I don't think I've ever heard that song, but he's a guy whose catalog I need to dig deeper into.
Mm-hmm. You're aware of his controversial rendition of the national anthem in Tiger Stadium before,
Yes.
I believe, a World Series game, or was it the All-Star game? I can't remember.
I think it was World Series.
Yeah, so it was a '68 World Series, so Vietnam was going on.
Before
and all that
Hendrix
stuff.
did the Star Spangled Banner.
Got to give that guy some credit for it. It wasn't even. It was just
It was good.
It was not. It was not anything. I never understood the controversy.
It was just that
it was being him.
It was a deviation. That was the controversy.
A deviation by a person of color. I'm sure that factored into it.
Is he blind too?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. Cut him some slack.
But yeah, and plus
he doesn't even know he's a person of color. It's just what people told him.
People have to tell him what's in the number 12 combo. He can't see it up on the menu board.
Once he smells it and tastes it, he can speak that language fluently, I have a feeling.
You become a flauta guy immediately. But and something else he's known for, and I think this might have been mentioned earlier in this episode. If not, it was an episode or two ago. Performer of the theme song of Chico and the Man.
Oh, okay.
And
he's done everything.
And he's Feliz Navidad.
He's Feliz Navidad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you guys? I don't know if you were Letterman watchers, like in the early to mid 2000s, but do you remember when he used to do that thing, Letterman, where he would throw the card and it would do like the window breaking thing, which he did forever. But there was the period where it would do the window break, and then they would play part of Old Turkey Buzzard by Jose Feliciano, and then it would cut to footage of like a buzzard flying around in slow motion. It was so weird, but they did it for like the majority of a year.
That's good. I never seen. No, I must not have been watching.
I'll find
back
it.
then.
It was one of my favorite things ever on TV because it never explained, made no sense. Just went to Old Turkey Buzzard.
Have you ever heard "Let's Find Each Other Tonight," Jose Feliciano?
I'm not sure how familiar. I mean, I saw Fargo when it came out, so I must have heard it once, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it's good, and yes, his catalog is worth exploring.
Okay, question 2. Pot of Thunder has been a bit of a sausage fest thus far with the song.
Bit.
Well, with the song picks.
Well,
are there any female musicians you are fans of? As a 90s teen, I'd love to hear some Hole or Veruca Salt, to name a couple. Both bands mentioned today on the show. Too many coincidences.
See, I've got one that I have lined up for, like, it's been on my list forever for a song selection not on the list. I don't know if I should give that out, though. Is that a mistake? Or to just stay the band, I guess.
Yeah, didn't she just say what band?
I guess so, yeah. Definitely for me, and she's talking, 90s also. My favorite rock band with a female singer by far is Letters to Cleo.
That's right.
Yeah, great songs. Just one of those bands where you listen to the album and it's like, wow, every song was good. So
actually, their drummer became the drummer for Veruca Salt at one point,
and he's the front man of American Hi-Fi.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And,
Is this Renaissance man?
And he's a musical director for a bunch of people. And
Jeez.
yeah, great band. Yeah, but far and away, that's my selection.
All right. Well, I have Celebrity Skin by Hole and American Thighs by Veruca Salt on my iPod. I enjoy both. So another 90s female-centric band that I would be surprised if it wasn't on Jackie's radar, but I will vote for L7, specifically the Bricks Are Heavy album, which is the one that is clearly had some extra production pizzazz. This was their attempt to put out like a Nevermind or something that was clearly spit-shined, produced, meant for mass consumption. And
did that have Pretend We're Dead?
Yes, okay. It did. It's a cool song. My favorite song on the album is One More Thing. So if Jackie knows of that one, her credibility is skyrocketed in my book.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a Donna song came up at
That's
some
right,
point.
yeah. Yeah, Dave Burke is going to be pissed at us for not mentioning them until you just mentioned them.
Well,
but
I did that just to appease him.
They are solid, no question about it. They're. I have 3 of their albums, and I should acquire more, so that could happen.
All right, question 3. In a recent episode, Chris called out power ballads as mostly pandering to female fans.
I don't believe I did that, but
I'm going to go with Jackie on this one.
I'm trying to think of what episode that would have been.
That was the last time we talked at length was the Macaulay Schenker group album.
Okay.
Certain power ballads, that one in particular, are absolute pandering garbage. If I came across as painting all power ballads as such, I would like to retract that. I am a sucker for a good power ballad. I'm wondering what the actual question is.
All right. But come on, everyone has a few power ballads they dig.
Hey, there you go.
Which are the ones you actually like? My 2 cents. I like The Flame by Cheap Trick, Hysteria or Love Bites by Def Leppard, and Reason to Live by Kiss.
Well, Hysteria is a great one. Love Bites, I can't really do.
Not a fan?
Not really. Maybe just from hearing it too many times. Just never was a song that grabbed me anyway. But yeah, Hysteria is a great one.
The sentiment of making love to you might drive me crazy. Is it a bit too unsettling for you?
Well...
Yeah, the notion of going insane after having sex with someone seems kind of anticlimactic. Climactic, pun intended.
My sweet pain, my love will drive you insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sweet Pain, is that that's not a power ballad?
No, I'm just saying that
lyrically.
Okay,
quite similar to that line.
True.
I mean, Love Song by Tesla is a great one.
Yeah.
Pictures of Aaron.
Pictures of Aaron is the flagship song of the Flying Aarons.
That's what we're told.
Wow. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that the vast majority of power ballads don't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, right. I am on that side. Let's see. I'm looking up a list of power ballads real quick just to see if anything jumps out at me. I mean, doesn't Home Sweet Home...
That was the prototypical...
Yeah.
sort of the hard rock variety. Yeah.
Fly High Michelle is a good one. I like it. I know Chris is not necessarily a fan, but one of my least, I guess it counts as a power ballad. One of my least favorite hard rock songs of all time is "Don't Close Your Eyes" by is that Kix? Yeah, can't do it.
Not a fan of that.
No, the chorus, the way that it's sung, I can't do it.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, and you just nailed it too. Yeah.
How about the Ballad of Jane, L.A. Guns? That was pretty.
That's a cool one. Yeah. Never was a big fan of like any of the Poison ballads, really.
Every rose has its thorn.
Yeah, or something to believe in.
So here's a question about a power ballad. Does it have to be? Does it have to have a power section in it, or does it just have to be from a band that also delivers power? Like, would More Than Words be a power ballad, or no? Is that
it
just
doesn't have power?
It doesn't have power.
I think you need the full band.
Yeah. I don't know everything by Extreme, but I don't know that they do power ballads. I think they go straight up acoustic and keep it like it's more consistent.
Or like what To Be With You, the Mr. Big.
Yeah,
full.
I found one on a list that I do really like, and you could probably file it under well, whatever, something that could be potentially embarrassing to admit that you like, but Sarah by Starship.
Oh, yeah.
Always loved the melody of that song. Great melody in that one. Don't care what anybody says.
Storms brewing in your eyes.
Exactly. Yeah, always enjoyed that one.
No time is a good time for goodbye.
Yeah.
Can't really find fault in that kind of lyric. For me, there's two that really spring to mind. Somewhat under the radar and underrated. The one I mentioned earlier, Ballad of Jane, L.A. Guns, is pretty damn good. I will put Miles Away by Winger.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. And then Goldilocks by King's X.
Oh, I don't know that.
Outstanding. Those are the two that are springing to mind for me. And I also had a soft spot for Angel, Aerosmith.
Yeah, I'm on board with that one.
Great melody, the sort of mellotron lick in there. That one resonated with me, even though I didn't particularly care for the rest of the album or the overall sound. That one did it for me.
Yeah, that's a great one.
What about the two Skid Row power ballads? Fan of either of those?
Not in particular.
Well, there's I Remember You definitely qualifies. 18 in Life is not like a romantic.
No, not
song.
at all. But the sound of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those I've heard a million times, and it's a great song, but it's not one I'm gonna go out of my way to go listen to anytime soon.
Yeah, I Remember You is definitely on the list. It's pretty quality. That bit toward the end where Bach soars into that high note, it's pretty goosebump inducing stuff for sure.
All right, well, thank you to Jackie Hardigan for your Yardo questions.
Jackie, no. Jackie, don't go. Look it up. Turn that into your personal anthem. It's great. and treat yourself to some passion on the autumn leaves in the nearest schoolyard.
If you want to submit your Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com. It's so easy. Do it. 1, 2, 3 questions makes a yard. If you want to submit a song on the list, also potofthunder.com. And if you want to send in your intro, record it however you want to record yourself, saying Pot of Thunder, singing Pot of Thunder, screaming Pot of Thunder, whatever it is, and send it to Pot of Thunder.
Flatulating Pot of Thunder.
If you can do that, I guarantee we'll play it. And send it to potofthunder@yahoo.com, and we'll make it happen.
In Morse code.
Hey, that works.
Probably the best way. If you're going to go with that option, the Morse code option.
Really the only... If you can do it another way,
yeah,
if you can do notes...
If you're able to, squish it together and produce the correct, sounds to have it sound something like actual verbalization, then you don't need to waste it on us. You should be on like America's Howie Mandel should be
exactly
flipping out over you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thank you for listening today. We'll be back next week with more Pot of Thunder, but let's go out with the one, the only, Ricardo Jones and the number 12 combo, El Rancho.
El Rancho, El Rancho, El Rancho to me. El Rancho, El Rancho, El Rancho to me. Take me there, take me there, take me there, take me there.
Take me there. That's where he wants to go.
That solo could have literally come right out of the late 50s.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was like, it's sloppy, but it probably should be.
Get ready for next week. This concept is going to go straight sewer.